Hello and welcome to today's class. Previously on partial fraction, we have looked at how to solve, talked about the process of splitting an expression into the component partial fractions. Now, one of the things I want to bring to your notice again, one of the things I mentioned in the introductory video to partial fraction is that the power or the degree of your numerator should always be lesser than the degree of your denominator. And in the case where the degree of your numerator is greater than the degree of your denominator, you perform a long division before you proceed to the other aspect of the partial fraction solution. And this is one of the cases where I talked about. Now you can see that the numerator has a power of 3, while the denominator has a power of 2. Another thing again I should mention is that even if they both have equal power, so they have the same power, let's say this is also in the power 2, you have to perform a long division. So there are two scenarios where you have to perform a long division: when the powers are the same and when the power of the denominator is greater. Sorry, the power of the numerator is greater than the denominator. So you perform a long division first to have a value that would be able to perform a partial fraction form. So let's go through the following steps, and we're going to see how we arrive at our answer for this particular expression. So follow me. So the first thing we have to do is to perform a long division. So x cubed minus 2x squared minus 4x minus 4. Then you have x squared plus x minus 2. So when you divide, like I said, you divide this first, divide so by the dividend. So x squared here will have x. So you have x cubed plus x squared minus 2x. So you do the subtraction. So you have minus 2 minus 1, that is minus 3x squared, minus 4 plus 2, that's minus 2x, then plus 4 here. So now let's move forward. We can still perform our division since they have the same power. So here we are going to have minus 3 when you divide. Same here, you're going to have minus 3x squared minus 3x plus 6. So you do subtract again, this will become 0, then this will become minus 3 plus 2, minus 3 plus 2 will be 1, that's going to be x, then 4 minus 6, 4 minus 6. Let's look at this again. We have, yes, so this is supposed to be minus 4, sorry. So this is minus 4, this is plus 6. So minus 4 minus 6, that's minus 10. So please take note of your signs. You can see I misplaced my sign for this particular expression. So you have to take note of your sign when you are solving. So you have, here should be minus 4. So now, let's move on to, now we have a remainder. Now it's based on this remainder that we're going to use to continue solving. So this particular expression will now become, so now taking note of our result here, the remainder and this. So this expression basically will now become x minus 3 plus x minus 10 over x squared plus x minus 2. So what we have done now is to reduce this expression so that we can have a fraction where the numerator has a lesser power than the denominator. You can see that the remainder is what I've written as the new numerator, and we have retained our denominator as the usual number. But now the value of what we got as our divisor has now become one of the expressions of the answer of our equation. So we are going to keep this x minus 3 while we now work on this x minus 10 over x squared plus x minus 2. I hope you are following me. please pay attention, and you can go over the tutorial video again if there's a part of this that is not you're having a problem with. But now these are what I want to keep in focus now. But we're going to use this. This is what we want to solve essentially now. Now we're also going to go back to finding our factors for this now. Now we have to find a factor for our denominator. Like I said, one of the very important things about partial fraction is that you must know the factors for your equation. In the case of this particular question now, our factor will become what? The factor of the denominator will be x plus 1 and x minus 2. Let's be sure that that is correct. So this is going to be 2x minus 2x. So that should be x minus 1 and x plus 2. Let's see. X squared plus 2x minus x minus 2. So x minus 1 and x plus 2 are the factors of our denominator in this expression. So let's solve this. This particular one is what we are dealing with now. So we have x minus 10 is equal to over what? X minus 1 and x plus 2. You see the equivalent of a over x minus 1 plus b over x plus 2. I hope you are following me. I hope you can see what I'm doing. So we're going to still follow the same principles how we followed it now. We're going to take the LCM of this expression. So what we are going to have here is going to be x minus 1 x plus 2. So we're going to so when we do this now, we're going to have a into what? X plus 2 plus b into x minus 1. Now, so like I said, we are focusing on the numerator. So numerator value of both sides. So x minus 10 equals to a into x plus 2 plus b into x minus 1. Now, keep following me. Like I said, now we're going to have to eliminate one of the two sides now, and you have to introduce a reciprocal of the value that we have in the brackets. So in this case, we have a positive, so that we are going to introduce a negative to eliminate this expression, and here we have to introduce a positive one to eliminate b in this expression. So let's start with the when say x is what? Minus 2. So we are going to put that across the whole equation. So we have minus 2 minus 10 equals to a into minus 2 plus 2 plus b into minus 2 minus 1. So in this case, we have minus 12 equals to minus 3b. So when we divide through by minus 3, our value for b is 4. The same thing, we say x equals to minus 1, where x equals to 1 in this case now. So we're going to have 1 minus 10 equals to a into 1 plus 2 plus b into 1 minus 1. So we're going to have minus 9 equals to 3a. So when you divide through by 3, you're going to have a equals to minus 3. Now, so far you have seen that we have been able to obtain the value for both b and both value for what? For a. I'll need to rub on this side of the board so that we can complete the rest of the work that we are doing. So you recall that if we're going to put this into this expression, now we must not forget that we have x minus 3 that we got as a product, or got as a result of our division. Are you getting me now? We must not forget that also. So when we're going to rewrite this now, we have to bring that also into, alright, so we see x minus 3 plus, now the value of a is minus 3, so we say minus 3 over x minus 1 plus b is 4, so we say 4 over x plus 2. So this is the breakdown of this particular answer. So this is going to be our final answer for this work that we have done. I want to watch the video again if you are confused about any part. Everything I've said is very explanatory. Like I always do, I'll drop some questions in the links to some questions in the description. I want to try it out, see what you can do with what you have there, and see if this has benefited you. Share with a friend, share with your colleagues. This is going to be a good video to enhance your knowledge and to help you to be the best in your class. I look forward to seeing you in the next tutorial video. Thank you.